Howdy! Welcome to Aspire Mountain Academy. I'm Professor Curtis, your instructor for this course in Introductory Statistics. In less than 10 minutes, this video introduces the concept of sampling distributions. Let's get started. So, the key concepts that we're going to learn about sampling distributions are, you see here on the screen. So, a sampling distribution is simply distributions of all values of a statistic when all possible samples of the same size are taken from the same population. So we could have this for any number of different statistics that we've looked at: mean, variance, standard deviation, pretty much any statistic that we could calculate for a sample. And basically the way this works is you've got a population of people, and so you take a sample of a certain size, and that sample is going to come out, and then you're going to take it. You can take another sample and another sample and another sample, and each of those samples of the same size are going to have varying, they're going to have different means, different variances, different standard deviations, and so you can take those values and put those values for the statistic for each of the samples into a distribution, and that's what we call the sampling distribution. It's the distribution of a sample statistic across an infinite number of samples. And we're going to observe that some of these statistics that we can get for the samples are better predictors for estimating the population parameters than others. To help us illustrate the concept of sampling distributions, we're going to look at outcomes from rolling dice. So the outcomes from our rolls of dice are going to form a distribution, and we're going to characterize the population of the dice rolls. So in order to do that, if we wanted to get like every member of the population, we'd sit around forever rolling dice. We don't really want to do that. So what we want to do is form a sampling distribution so we can get to the population parameters without actually getting data for the entire population. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to sample our population such that the characters of the population are represented in the sample, that they have the same characteristics. Then we can just run our stats analysis on the sample, and then we don't have to take data from every member of the population. So let's suppose we want to sample some rolls of dice. Okay, from the infinite number of rolls of dice that we could have in our population, we're going to take a sample. And so we're going to define the population as every roll we could possibly make. So our sample space is going to have an infinite number of outcomes. We're going to find the sample as every roll that we actually make. So our sample space is going to contain a finite number of outcomes. So to set up our dice roll experiment, let's actually ask a few design questions before we get started. First, how many dice rolls must we make to have a sample large enough to resemble the population? Again, we don't want to be sitting around rolling dice forever, but we do want to know, when can we actually quit rolling the dice? When do we have a sample that's representative enough of our population that we can actually stop sampling? Well, first, what is it that we expect the mean value of our sample to be? Well, the mean value is simply the expected value. As we've discussed before in a previous mini lecture, this is the formula for calculating the expected value. So we could get a table here, calculate some values for x and a probability of getting x, and then we can actually multiply that out. So possible values for x, well, that's just the different outcomes from our dice rolls. So it's a 6-sided dice, pretty standard piece of equipment there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are the possible outcomes. The probability of getting any one of those, if we assume that it's a fair dice, the probability of getting a 1 as our outcome is 1 over 6, and the probability of getting a 2 is a 1 over 6, and the same for the other outcomes there in our sample space. So the probability of getting any one of these outcomes is 1 over 6. If we multiply each of those random variables by its respective probability, So 1 times 1/6 is 1/6. 2 times 1/6 is 2/6, which you could reduce to 1/3 if you wanted, and then so on and so forth down the line. If we add those products together, we end up getting the expected value, which comes out to be 21/6, or when you divide that out, you get 3.5. So we expect the mean value of our outcomes to be 3.5. This is what we would expect to see in the population. Now, we can actually roll dice 5 at a time. Okay, we're rolling dice 5 at a time so we can kind of speed things up a little bit. So instead of rolling it 1 at a time, let's just roll it 5 at a time so we sort of speed things up a bit. We're going to calculate the sample mean after we roll 5 dice, and then we'll calculate a new sample mean after each roll. As our sample becomes larger and larger, eventually it's going to become large enough to resemble the population. We should see at that point the sample mean approaching or targeting the population mean. So the value of the sample mean is going to come close to the population mean, which we're going to say is our expected value of 3.5. So the closer our sample mean gets to 3.5, the closer we are to having a sample that's large enough to resemble the population. So now we've designed our experiment. Let's just go ahead and run through it. Let's roll our 5 dice for the first time. And let's say we do that and we come out with these results. We get a 3, a 2, a 1, a 2, and a 2. So here for our first trial, we've got a mean value of trial for 2. We get that just by taking the 2 plus the 3, which is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 10 divided by 5, because there's 5 dice, gives us 2. So there's our trial mean, and we have a sample size of 5, because there's 5 outcomes here. And so our sample mean for the first trial is going to be the same as the trial mean. Let's go ahead and roll these dice again a second time. And let's say this is what comes out. A 1, a 6, a 4, a 3, and a 1. We do the same calculation we did with the first trial. So the mean for the trial is 3, but now we've got 10 dice so we for our whole sample. So we've got those 10 outcomes. We take the mean for those 10 outcomes and we get 2.5. So you can see we're getting closer with that second trial up to 3.5. We can do it again for a third trial. Run the numbers. See how that sample mean is inching its way up to 3.5? We do it again for a fourth time. Calculate the numbers out. We're getting closer and closer to 3.5. So that's pretty much all we've got. That brings us to the end of this mini lecture. I hope you found it helpful. You can find more mini lectures for this and other courses at AspireMountainAcademy.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.